What's going on, everyone? So ESPN's Dave McMenamin put out this report of Darvin Ham saying, I want him if he can. I know he won't do it, but maybe he'll shock me. But I've requested to see 6 3-point attempts a game. Ham said after practice on Tuesday, 3 per half at least. I wouldn't put that on him if I didn't think he was capable. And what he is referring to is Anthony Davis, that he wants to see Anthony Davis take 6 3-point attempts per game. Now, look, I have said that I don't want to see Anthony Davis fall in love with the 3-point shot. I love that Darvin Ham said Anthony Davis probably isn't going to do that, right? He's not going to take 6 3-point attempts per game. I don't mind it here and there if he is hitting, right? So what we've seen these first 2 preseason games is Anthony Davis's ability to knock down the 3-ball return. And I love to see that because that opens up so much for the Lakers. And there were reports and conversations and talks about, hey, Anthony Davis is shooting, it's back, right? We heard that all offseason, that he's able to knock it down because the last few years since the bubble, his 15-foot out has just been very, very poor. And his 15 in is still absolute money, absolute butter. And last year, he had his best shooting percentage of his career because almost all of his shot attempts were at the rim. They were all like 10 feet in, right? So that really elevated him and made him easier and more efficient at scoring the basketball. And when he's on, he is absolute butter. Like, you can't stop the guy. Like, Bubble AD was the best player in the world because there's nobody that's as good defensively that has the offensive repertoire that he has that's also 7 feet, 6'11", whatever, right? And Anthony Davis and his ability to knock down the 3-ball, I think, is just an added weapon, not a necessary tool to go and win games, right? If he's going to play the power forward position, he's going to need to knock down the 3-ball, right? Like, let's say he plays 32 minutes a game. Let's say he splits, 16 minutes at the center, 16 minutes at the power forward position, right? Okay, fine. When he is at the center position, his ability to stretch the floor, especially if he's knocking down that 3-ball, opens up so much, right? Because now you could have LeBron James, you could have Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, all these guys just get quick lanes to the basket because now whoever's defending Anthony Davis has to go and challenge out on the perimeter. Where when he was shooting 19%, 1, he was afraid to take those attempts, and 2, they would just let him shoot it because the odds say he's going to miss it. And so the fact that he can knock it down again, or assuming that this trend continues with what we've seen, if that continues, then now teams have to respect that. And it opens up so much more for the Lakers offense, right? Now, when he's the power forward, he's going to have to be out on the perimeter more. But I don't want to see him end up falling in love with the 3-point shot to where he's taken 6, 7, 8 attempts per game. I like where he's been the first 2 games. He's taken about 4 3-point attempts per game the first 2 games. I don't mind if he averages around that, maybe, 5 here and there. If he has it going, right? Like, let's say he's 2 of 3 from 3. Okay, take another one, right? Oh, he's 3 of 4. All right, take another one. He's 4 of 5. Okay, take another one. There's 6. Oh, he missed that one. Okay, he's 4 of 6. Let's take one more just to say, oh, he's 5 of 7 now, right? Like, if he has it going, then sure, light it up. But I don't want him to fall in love and get comfortable with taking that 3-ball. I want to see him continue to be aggressive, continue to be physical, and attack the paint on the perimeter. I'd like a nice balance of 3-point attempts and then inside the interior, right? So let's say he's getting 20 shot attempts per game. I want to see at least 15 of those be inside, 15 feet. Now, obviously, if it's just through the natural flow of the offense, right? I don't want him to hesitate. Like, if you've been subscribed to me for a long time or just even watched my videos, which if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. But if you've just even watched my videos this past year, then you've heard me a lot say, I don't care whether they make the threes or not, you have to shoot it. Because what happens is Anthony Davis, LeBron will drive, kick out to AD. Everyone is set, established position to go for the rebound. Shot clock's winding down. And then Anthony Davis or whomever, right? Last year, Patrick Beverley, Russell Westbrook, right? Russell Westbrook was one that I talked about heavily. So many people were like, Russ needs to stop shooting. And it's like, he has to shoot when he's wide open because you disrupt the flow of the offense. You completely because now if he doesn't shoot, it suckers everyone's got to move. You get 3-second calls. Guys have to get out of the paint. It ruins everything that you have established, right? So if AD is out on the perimeter, and say Reeves dribbles, drives, kicks out to AD, and he's wide open, take the shot. I don't mind that, but I don't want it to be something that's a running clock in his head that's like, oh, hey, I have to get 6 attempts per game, right? Like, I don't want it to be like, well, it's midway through the fourth quarter. We're up 5. I only have 3 3-point attempts. Let me go. I got to go take another 3. Like, I don't want that. Right? Like, I don't want him to end up shooting us out of the game because he's not taking quality shots. He's just taking shots just to take shots and get volume. Right? Like, the beauty of Anthony Davis in that bubble year was he was so dominant offensively. Oh, and he could knock down the 3 ball rather than he could knock down the 3 ball. And he was also, it was, the latter. Like, it's great to see him be able to just be this offensive juggernaut and also at any point could just step back on you and knock and splash a 3. And now what do? Right? Oh, you want to give him some space? Okay, good luck. I'll just take this open, 3 and knock it down, right? Like, that's what I want to see from AD. And so far we've seen that, and I love that, right? We've seen AD be aggressive, be physical, and get to the basket. Also, Anthony Davis addressed this, I don't remember if it was on Media Day or like around Media Day, but they asked him about his 3-point attempts, and he said, something along the lines of paraphrasing of like, hey, yeah, it's one thing to be able to knock it down in an open gym when, you don't have the crowd and no hand in your face or anything like that. Anybody can do that. Let's see how it translates to the games, which we've seen him so far translate that well to the games. He also followed that up, and again, paraphrasing, something along the lines of, I don't want to fall in love with the 3 ball though. If it is hitting, I don't want to become dependent on the 3 ball. I love that because I fully agree. And look, I understand what Darvin Ham is doing here, right? He's encouraging, what this is encouragement of Anthony Davis to take 3s, which you want to do, right? Darvin Ham wants him to have success. He said the same thing about Russell Westbrook. He said the same thing. Like, this isn't something new that he's put out there. All this is just to instill the confidence of, hey, you have my blessing to take the 3, right? Because, when you're a player and you're out there on the court and you're taking shots and you're going with it through the flow of the offense or whatever, some coaches, they don't care if you're wide open. They want you to take the high percentage shot, or they want you to do whatever. You get those coaches that are just like, that overanalyze everything other than understanding that there's ups and flows of the game that just naturally take course. And this guy is a guy that is capable of knocking down a 3 ball, right? Now, if it's somebody like DeAndre Jordan, who like just never takes a 3 a day in his life, then yeah, but even he's had to take 3s in spots. But yeah, if it's something like that, then sure. But you see guys like, oh, I've taken 3 3s, let me calm down, or coach is going to be mad, or coach is going to, drill me for that, or whatever, right? And Darvin Ham is just going out there and instilling into Anthony Davis, like, hey, I know you can knock these down. I know that you're confident. I know your shot's back. Let's get back to bubble AD. I mean, Darvin Ham has talked several times about getting Anthony Davis back to bubble AD, right? And that's what we want to see. We do. If Lakers get bubble Anthony Davis, nobody's beating this Lakers team. If we have a healthy bubble AD, nobody is beating this team. Because now you're talking arguably, if not the best player in the entire league at that point, with everything that Anthony Davis is capable of doing. I mean, Anthony Davis was, in that bubble, the best player the entire bubble. And it wasn't even a question. I mean, it was unanimous. So I want him to take threes. He needs to take threes. He needs to knock them down. Obviously, if he's shooting 19% from three, then no, he doesn't need to take threes. But I'm going to go under the assumption that that's not what we're going to see here, right? The bubble year, he averaged 3.5 threes per game, right? And he shot 33%. I'm okay with that. Like I said, give me 3.5 to 4 threes per game, and I'll have no complaints. I could care less about anything else. That, I think, to me, that's a great number, right? Because also some of his shots are going to be like slightly in from the three. I'm talking about like spot up, ready to go three. And again, there will be, I'm not saying a running clock where AD's thinking like, oh, okay, well, I've already taken 4 threes, so I can't take the shot. No, if you're wide open, shoot the shot, right? If he ends up taking 10 threes in a random game because they just keep leaving him wide open at the three, then take it. You know, like take those 10 threes. I don't care as long as you're knocking them down, right? I just don't want him falling in love with it. And the head coach has given him the green light, and he ends up starting to shoot us out of games, right? Especially if he's hot early on. You know, what if he's shooting 40% early, right? And because he's shooting 40% through the first 2 games. So what if that continues? And he's shooting 40% from three, and he starts getting higher and higher volume. And then he gets to the point where he's falling in love with the 3 ball, and that shot starts cooling down. Now what? You know, it just, I don't want to see that happening. But I'm in support of him shooting threes, without a doubt. I want to see him shooting threes. I like what Darvin Ham said to Anthony Davis, putting the message out there. I believe in him. I believe in his play. He's backing his player. Like a lot of people I've seen since this report came out, a lot of people are like, why would Darvin Ham? He's showing the support of Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis' shot is back. Anthony Davis has been down on his shot tremendously the last few years. Darvin Ham's trying to give him that confidence of like, dude, take your shot. I totally support Darvin Ham saying what he said. I just don't want Anthony Davis to translate that to like, oh, now I get to take 6 threes a game. Like, that's my hope. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. How do you feel? What do you think? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? What do you think? Do you think he should take 6+ attempts? Do you think no? 3 to 4 is great? How do you feel? Love you.